Hello, and I am so glad that you're back. So, now we are going to just spend the week doing a bunch of exercises that we're going to use to create this plan to break the trauma bond. So, last week we spent the whole week trying to unravel that cognitive dissonance, and now it's time to create the plan. So, before we start creating the plan, I want to go over I'm like holding up 4 fingers. 7 mentality shifts that we're going to make before we do anything, right? First thing, mentality. We're going to get in a different mindset. So let's start with number 1. I want you to expect yourself to fail. Okay? Expect this is going to be hard. Expect to be moved 2-3 steps forward, 1-2 steps back, 3 steps forward, 1-2 steps back. If every single time you take a step back, you feel like a failure, like you're never going to succeed, you go into that shame, you're weakening your self-esteem, you're weakening your sense of self, and it's human. Like, I don't know many survivors of narcissistic abuse that didn't have hiccups getting out of a narcissistic relationship. There's control. We've talked about that. So, expect it to be hard. Do not expect this journey to be a straight line. This is going to be a weaving. You will see progress over time. Breaking the trauma bond, healing from narcissistic abuse is not something that you can look at day to day or hour to hour. Like, yesterday I was doing so good, or last week I was doing so good. It's more like quarterly. Like every 3 or 4 months, you have to see like, okay, I have moved. Okay, 3 or 4 more months. Like I moved. So we're reflecting back. So expect yourself to fail. Number 2, you want to learn to get curious, not condemning. Curiosity, not condemnation. And what I mean by that is when you are trying to understand yourself, you're trying to look inward and answer some questions, it is much harder to be honest with and vulnerable with ourselves if we are condemning ourselves. So I want you to imagine a separate person, right? Like your relationship with yourself is the same as a relationship with another person. If I come to you and I say, why would you do that? Why did you do that? Tell me right now, why did you do that? Or I came to you and I say, why'd you do that? What happened? What was going on? Tell me what was going on. What happened? Why'd you do that? Which one do you feel more safe? Which friend do you feel more safe talking to? Which friend do you feel more safe going to? Which version of me? That's what you need to do for yourself. It's hard at first, so just become aware. If you are meeting yourself with condemnation, you are beating yourself up, you're going to be less vulnerable with yourself, and it's going to be less helpful. Because right now is the time for compassion. We are rebuilding our self-worth. We are rebuilding our self-esteem. You cannot rebuild your self-esteem and self-worth if you are beating yourself up, if you're the one putting yourself down. So compassion, curiosity, understanding, why, gently, like, why do I put my validation in this person? Well, I think when I grew up, my parents often gave me conditional affection. Or, well, because over the years, they've groomed me to, whatever the answer is, that's good. We want the answer. Like, we just want the insight. So be kind to yourself to get it. So number 3, you need to learn to have faith. Faith is a hard thing to have. Faith is a belief in something that we don't know. We don't see. It's just faith. I have faith that there's another side to this misery, to this anxiety, to this withdrawal, right? This pain. I'll never find someone again. Stop. All of that is garbage. All of that is lies in your head that weren't even put there by you. They're not even your lies. Like, those are somebody else's lies. Those are society's lies, or Disney movies' lies, or the narcissist's lies, or your parents' lies, whoever's lies, okay? They're not yours. You need to have faith. There are, I don't know, hundreds of thousands, millions of narcissistic abuse survivors that have gotten to the other side and are not still living in that state. Every single one of them will tell you, I feel good. I didn't know I didn't have peace. I didn't know life without anxiety. I didn't know what freedom was. Like, the grass is greener over here, okay? Have faith that that is true for you too. I'm going off on tangent, but it kind of reminds me of pregnancy. I'm pregnant. When I was pregnant with my son, and You think like, this baby is never gonna come. Like, this baby's never gonna come out. I'm gonna be the human being that is pregnant forever, and the baby never comes. And I mean, think about how many women are pregnant. It always comes. Like, the baby comes. It just, you have to have faith. And the same is true with it, and now my son's gonna be 10 this year. So it's silly. And I'm 4 years no contact and out of the trauma bond. So you can do it too. Absolutely. Learn to have faith. So, mentality shift number 4, and this is a good one. My behaviors do not have to match my thoughts and emotions, okay? Just because you feel obligated, just because you feel guilty, just because you are afraid, just because you feel anxious, just because you think that what they're saying makes sense and that they're right, whatever they're saying about you is right, you are abandoning them. I feel like I'm abandoning them. They're telling me I'm abandoning them. Your behavior does not need to fall in line with your thoughts and emotions, okay? Sometimes our behavior is the first change, and then our thoughts and emotions fall in line after. But it's important to understand that they are 3 separate things. And until we learn self-awareness, they're all kind of one. I feel this because I think this, and therefore I do that compulsively. I text them, I respond to the text because I feel anxious, because I think that I'm wrong, or I think that they'll change. You can think that and still decide for yourself that you're going to remain no contact. I'm going to remain no contact for 90 days or 60 days. And as we go through these exercises, we might not be there. Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Sometimes it will be like, I'm going to remain no contact until after lunch. Sometimes it's like, I'm not going to respond to this text until I go take a bath. I'm going to eat my food and take a bath before I respond to this message. Whatever. We don't know where we're at. Everybody's different. However, your thoughts and emotions don't have to get on board. They don't have to board the train of breaking no contact. They don't have to board the train of not looking at their social media accounts, of not responding to their messages. It's okay. They're 3 separate things. They will fall in line later. Oftentimes I think we're like, get rid of this feeling, if I could just not feel this way, I could go no contact. We're putting the cart before the horse. Everyone's different. Sometimes we do emotionally detach first. Sometimes that does happen. We fall out of love before we leave. Okay, that's kind of different than a trauma bond. So, number 5, I don't need to break the trauma bond in order to go no contact. I need to go no contact in order to break the trauma bond. All right? It's not, like I said before, if I could just not feel anxious, I could do this. No, if you do this, you won't feel anxious. That's how it works. If you go no contact, you can stop feeding the addiction, right? You have to go no contact with the heroin. You have to go no contact with the alcohol. If you get that high from them, that is still the crutch. That fuels the addiction. That has to be step first, right? Even if I haven't used heroin today, that doesn't mean I'm not still an addict, right? I don't use heroin. I'm just saying, it's similar to other addictions. So you have to stop using the substance, your drug of choice, this charismatic narcissist. You have to stop using that in order to break the addiction. That comes first. You go through the withdrawal. It's not ugly. That's why they have detox centers. I wish we had a narcissistic abuse detox center. Like, just come sit here for 3 to 6 months. You have to go through the withdrawal first. And like I said, then the thoughts, the feelings, all of it becomes more clear after. Think about any addiction, any addict in your life. Their thoughts are not clear, right? It's like fix, like substance. And then you'll see after sobriety, after time of being sober, the reflection comes, the connections are made. The same is true here. So, mentality shift number 5. I don't need to break the trauma bond to go no contact. I need to go no contact to break the trauma bond. Number 6, expect them to contact you. I do not want to hear, Catherine, they are not going to contact me. I know them. They're not. They left me. They don't even like me. They say mean things to me that I don't even think they know that I'm gone. Whatever. All of it. I hear it all the time. And then I meet with my clients next week and they're like, oh, he or she contacted me. I know that. They will. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why I want you to believe that. I want you to switch your mentality to that. Because A, if they don't contact you, no harm, no foul. But B, if they do contact you, you will not be prepared. You're going to confuse that reach out because you're in your head like, no, they don't even think about me. They don't even want me back. And so when they do text you, you're going to interpret that as caring. And it's not. They want control. They don't care. They don't miss you. They miss their ego stroke. They miss having control of another human. Okay, so do not confuse that Hoover attempt with caring. The Hoover is not caring. I'm thinking about you. I miss you. Those are lies. They're all lies. So expect them to contact you. Because if you don't, if you don't expect them to contact you and then they do, you're like, a gift. Oh my gosh, I'm not prepared. I don't have a plan in place to not fall for the Hoover. Okay? We are here to come up with a plan, people. So expect them to contact you. Like I said, worst case scenario, I'm wrong. They don't. No harm, no foul. You're totally free. Amen. Like that's what we want, right? So good. And the last mentality change is consistency. Like I said, for number one, expect yourself to fail. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. This isn't like, okay, I'm just going to beam no contact for 8 days and I'm going to be good. You need to remain consistent, okay? I'm doing so good on my boundaries for 4 days and then I had a hiccup and I like fell back for a little bit. Okay, and now we are back. We're remaining consistent. Think about like the gym, okay? I'm trying to get into the habit of going to the gym. I went today, yes. Okay, I went Wednesday, yes. Okay, I went two more days that week. Yes, like so proud of me. The next week I skip Monday and I'm like, I'm a failure. No, you're never gonna hit this habit. I'm sorry, no, go tomorrow. Try again, okay? Boundary setting, for example, may feel like the hardest thing you've ever done the first time. Say the boundary is, I'm not gonna answer your phone calls. I'm not going to answer your phone calls. If you need to communicate with me about whatever legal stuff for the children, you can text me. The first time that's going to feel impossible. Guess what? The 1,000th time, it won't. It's going to be like, I've told you to call me. It's not going to be hard, okay? So you just have to remain consistent in any behavioral change, especially this one. Because, like I said, this one has weakened our sense of self, our autonomy, our individuality. So there's a lot more riding on this consistency, and there's a lot less strength fueling us because we're doing this from a depleted state. We're doing this from an abused state, a traumatized state with PTSD. I'm asking you to do the hardest thing you've ever done in your life, and I get that. And that's why I want you to expect to not do it perfectly, and that's why I want you to expect to be consistent. Now, there is going to be a sheet associated with this day. That's your homework. I want you to fill it out. I want you to go through the prompts, answer the questions, and then come back tomorrow after you've finished the exercises for today.